Hi everyone, and thank you for watching my video. As I'm using keyboards on daily basis, so with my computer I sometimes have a lot of problems to use those shortcut keys and combination keys together. So actually everybody is familiar with the normal size keyboard. It doesn't need any kind of explanations, but if you want to be a bit like easier on a keyboard like what I use, then I'm gonna show you how to make a keyboard, a shortcut keyboard for yourself, for something like this one, which is 4x4, and you will have a knob here to zoom in, zoom out, or something that you need. Actually, all of these keys are customizable. I mean, you can customize them to what to do when you push the button, or even a bigger one. This is the upside down. This is the bigger one. This is 5x4, and with two knobs that you can use them for zoom in, zoom out, scroll left, right, up, down, and actually this little button. I'm gonna explain it to you. In this keyboard, actually it uses a USB-C connection, so you can connect it to any device that it uses USB-C, or it has USB-C interface. So, and actually all of the links for STL files to download and print them on your 3D printer for example the mesh or for the box or everything, I'm gonna put them in the description, and even all the links that you need to buy the little things that you have to buy. I got them from the Amazon. You can buy them and they are really cheap. You can actually make this keyboard for under, let's say, under 30 euros. And actually I know there are a lot of customizable keyboards that you can adjust them and you can buy them online, but this is a fun project. I'm doing that for fun, and actually I didn't invent that. Just there was a lot of difficulties for me to figure it out from the beginning, how to solder those pins, or which pin to which pin, or even write a code. And but everything will be in the description, so you can download all of them for free. And yes, so let's go to show the parts, which parts you need to buy, or if you have to use them, and then we are going to make the actual thing. Okay, so for the beginning, what we need is a normal soldering iron, that, for example, like that one, to connect those pins together and everything. I'm actually gonna use this kind of coated copper wires that actually I got them from the Amazon for a really low price, and you will find links inside the description. But these are one of the best choices you can have for this thing, because as well as they are coated, so they are not going to connect to each other, and actually the thickness is almost okay for this job. Actually, the next thing we need is this kind of switches. Actually, you can make it with the tactile switches as well, but I like it because it gives the feeling like the keyboard. You can find it in all colors and everything in Amazon, that I just gonna put the links for you. But these keys actually really cheap and really good in quality, I mean. And actually you can have this much keys for a little price, but I prefer these keys. And actually the whole thing that I designed in 3D to be printed on a 3D printer, then actually it's on for these kind of keys. But actually the brain of this project is based on this little guy. This is an Arduino Mega 34U4 that you can use it. It has enough pins to do everything, and it has a USB-C interface. You can find it on eBay or on Amazon. I'm gonna put the links on Amazon there, then you can actually buy it for cheap. I usually buy 4 or 5 pieces together, that even if something happens to one of them, because I'm not professional, so sometimes on soldering I make these little holes like screwed up, and then I cannot use it or something may happens to those guys. So you can just buy them for really cheap price from the Amazon, that you will find the links in the descriptions. The last but not least are this guys that I'm gonna call it the matrix, or mesh, or whatever you want you can call it. Actually, I made this design, and a still file is ready to download for free. I put the links there, and also this box that you can download it and you can print it on your 3D printer to use it for the whole project. And actually you have two ways to fix these two guys on each other. First is that you can use an M2 screw, and the next one is that as it fits on it really good like that, even you can glue it together. But if you don't want to glue it, as I don't prefer to glue it on the other one, because sometimes some of the solderings they come off or something, then you have to open it and correct that. So you can just fix it with these pre-made holes in the steel file with an M2 screw, and it makes your life really easier. So as you may saw on the parts that I'm just showed you, I'm gonna make a 5x4 shortcut keyboard with two knobs. And actually this little button that I already said that I'm gonna mention it to you, this guy, it's a normal tactile switch. I'm gonna show it when I'm trying to solder the things together. This guy, actually it's used to put the board on listening mode, that you can upload your firmware into it and then you can use it. Okay, so first I'm gonna put these keys onto this mesh. First off, if you see there is a pattern on that it's really nice. I really like it. So I'm gonna put it in the back side. It's really easy to put one of them inside this guy. Therefore, this purpose, I'm gonna, if you just see there is a notch there, then I'm gonna put this notch to the up, so it should be an up like that, and then I'm gonna put all of them inside this mesh, and then we can start with the other parts of the job. As I don't want to waste your time, I'm gonna fast forward this one and show it in really fast. And if even you want to make them more stable in place, you can use some these glues or something, but it stays in place good. So as you can see, it's already finished. So I put all of these 20 keys inside. Now we're going to actually make them as a matrix. I mean, solder them as a matrix. So we are going to solder them from the rows to columns. So we would have 4 rows and 5 columns. Each pin, each key has 2 pins. If you can see, we are going to connect the corresponding pins together to make columns, and the corresponding pins like these ones in the same row together to make them as a row for our matrix. And why matrix? Because in a matrix type, instead of needing, for example, 2 pins to recognize each key, so in this case it would be like 40 pins we need in this way. But if we make it as a mesh, as a matrix, then actually we need really less than that. We need 4 pins, 4 pins for rows and just 5 pins for that. It's together, it's I think 9 pins as we need for the whole thing to be recognized. And the one thing that I forgot to mention is that we are gonna need 2 of these potentiometers that I put the links on the description. You can buy from Amazon. They are really cheap and they come with these knobs and they are really nice and beautiful, so just you can use them really easily. And also of course, but you need one of these pliers to actually make some cuts or even remove those ends of the pins, as we don't need them. But this is the thing that I love it, and I really use it in all the 3D jobs I do, or in how to call it, the projects like this one. Actually, as I want to make this project as thin as possible, and unfortunately I have no access to, or even better to say, I could not find any online shops near me that I can design a PCB and then they can print it for me, or make it for me online. So I'm gonna use this copper wire. It's really thin, to connect either the rows together or the columns together. And then for the rest of the job, I'm gonna use those coated copper wires, because these rows and columns, they should not be in contact with each other. So anyways, I'm gonna use this one for one of the purposes and the other one for the rest. Okay, before I start to solder the actual thing, I'm gonna show you these micro tactile switches that you can buy them. They are 4 pins, and the only thing you should keep in mind is that these pins are working in an X form, so diagonally. It means that if you want to make them, to use them for this purpose, we should use any of these 2 pins. For example, this one and this one, like that. So, or this one, like that. But it's not, it doesn't gonna work if we use these 2 pins together. It's not gonna do anything. And actually I bought it from Amazon, as I already mentioned. It comes with these small caps. I like they are different in different colors, but I really like this red one because it just keeps my eye, like, do not push it during using this keyboard, because then it puts the whole keyboard on a listening form that we don't need it actually, really, usually. So no, I'm gonna make this one, solder these guys together, and then we explain furthermore what to do with it. I hope it's visible there that how did I set up these columns together. I'm from this one to this guy to this guy and to this guy, the same pins on each column. Now I am going to use my solder iron, that's a normal solder iron, to solder these guys in the place. And it's actually not a big deal, it's not a big job. So I'm just gonna check if those are soldered in place. Yes, everything is good, and those are really perfectly soldered in place. Now I'm gonna just cut this extra part from it because we don't need it, and then we are going to repeat the whole thing for the other 5 columns, and then I'm gonna get back to you with the connection of the rows together. So now, if you can see on this thing, On this video, what I'm going to show you now, I just connected all the columns together, the corresponding pins together. So now I'm gonna use one of these coated copper wires to connect the rows together. So that was for the columns, and this is gonna be used for the rows together. Now the soldering for the rows are, as you see, finished, and I tried to use this part which is coated, plastic coated, to see, then there is no connection between the columns and the rows together. Now I'm gonna use the same cables but in different color order to get some extensions from the columns as well. Now, as we have for rows, we need extensions for the columns as well. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get back soon. So as you can see, I use these wires to get an extension from each column to the end, and I try to pass them beneath the other cables. It helps that when you are working on it, you would not have these extra cables just falling down and actually make a problem for you, because if they are falling down, then it puts pressure on the base that you want to close it, then it will be like bulged. But in this way, actually it keeps it in place and everything is cool and safe. Actually, in some of the videos that I already watched, there are some people that they use some diodes in the way of these guys rows and columns, but actually, as I don't have those diodes, so I decided not to use them. Actually, for other 3 or 4 projects that I have done with this type of keyboards, actually I don't say that they are useless, but the missing of them didn't make a big problem for me. So now we are going to connect each of these cables into the corresponding pin on our Arduino that I'm gonna show you on which one has to go to which pin. Okay, as you can see here, we are using an Arduino Pro Micro with Atmega. Yeah, it's visible from here, Atmega 32U4 for this project. As you can see, there are the named pins here, and what we are now connecting these things to are from pin 2 till I think pin 9, yeah, pin 9 if I remember it correctly, or pin 10. Then we are just gonna use these guys, and do not mix them with the A3 to like A0, because those are the pins that we need for the analog input from our knobs or potentiometers. So we are going to use from 2 to 10. And now I am going to solder those guys. What I can actually tell is that try to solder the rows in a series. For example, we have 4 rows, so use 2, 3, 4, 5 for the rows, and then we have 5 columns, then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 for those 5 columns that we have. And the reason is that then the differentiation for you between the pins inside the code will be really much easier. If you use them in mix, then actually you will have some headache during writing the code for it. Now I'm gonna solder the potentiometers to use them. The only trick that you have to keep it in mind is that if you just see carefully here, we have 3 pins for each potentiometer. The side pins should be connected to VCC or positive pin, and one of them should be connected to the ground one, as we try to use as less as possible cables to keep everything clean. We can connect these 2 pins, this pin to the corresponding one on the other one, and this one to the other one, and just one cable from each to VCC and ground. but the middle pin, it should be connected to one of those analog pins that are shown with A1, A2 and A0 if I'm right on the board. So I'm gonna do that on this one. I am going to solder this one, and then I'm going to connect just those two pins to each other and put them on the matrix and go further for the next steps. So as I have already mentioned, I put these potentiometers in a way that, for example, this green cable, which comes from here, it goes to the corresponding pin, which is here. So the same pin of both of them. And then it goes to the ground. And the other one is the red one, which comes from this pin and goes to that pin. And then it goes to the positive or VCC pin on the board. But what is important, really important here, is first of all this one, which goes to the middle, and the other one, the white one, which goes to the middle of the other potentiometer here. That this black one goes to one of the, I think, A0 pin on the board, and the other one, the white one, goes to the A1 pin. And then this is the micro switch that as I have already mentioned, we use them in a cross. So a negative pin or ground pin, which is the blue one, and actually I supposed to solder it to this pin. I'm gonna do it. And then the next one is the red one, which goes not to the positive but to the reset button, reset pin or RST pin on the board. So this is the board with all the things, all the cables and pins connected to that. Just keep it in mind that you should do it in this format. I mean, if you want to use what I have designed, then actually the board goes upside down in there. So the entrance would be here, and then you have to solder the pins or the wires from this side, not the other side, because then it is not gonna fit there. Now actually I just noticed that it is not really soldered there. I'm gonna solder it, and then I'm gonna get back to you and explain all the things that we have to do on the computer, and then flash this board, and then we're done. Now, actually, after fixing that soldering matter, I'm going to set it inside and fix it with this kind of M2 screws with the Phillips, and then we're going to the software part on the computer. So, as I've mentioned already, it should be placed like upside down in this way. So I'm gonna put it here first, and then I am going to place this guy over the top of that. Just have to take care of the cables and manage them in a way that it stays in place. Okay. Yeah. And it good. Oh. There is one of them there already. So okay, now it fits in the place. So I'm gonna fix it with this M2 screws, one of them here. Even you can buy those M2 screws in a bunch from Amazon, and that's really cheap, and it's really fast. If you have Amazon Prime, then it's gonna deliver it to you for about, let's say, for a day. and this is the perfect thing for it. Let me put this guy here. Okay, this one, and the print, it didn't go really well, so the last one. Usually I used this fast glue to fix them in place. So this is the last screw, and actually I'm thinking on making an update about this box and holder. Then I'm gonna make 2 or 4 more screws, one for, oh my god, here in between, one for upper, one for lower, one for here, and one for here. But for instance, this is the beginning of this is the hardware part of that. So we are going to make the software, and then here is the USB-C of the device, and we can use it. But actually I'm gonna put this guy here for this key, and then I have these 2 knobs here. The best thing is that turn it counterclockwise until it stops, and the next one as well. Then set this guy and push it inside there, and again for the next one the same thing. Now actually it works really nice and really perfect. And for the keycaps, also I put a steel file online, so you can download it and put the blank caps on them. Or even if you want, like what I have done on my model that I've already made, this guy, then I made some stickers and put the stickers on them, so maybe whenever I want to change them to another combination, I just remove the sticker and put another sticker on that. But the steel file for this blank keycaps will be uploaded, and I'm gonna put the link for you there into the descriptions, then you can use it. For the software part, we need these applications. The QMK is used to make the actual code. The QMK firmware is used to add or flash it to our device. The zip file is the package that I have made for this purpose. And the next one is Visual Code Studio, that you can use any kind of code editors or even a simple note editor to edit your code. Now to download them, just go to the Google and search for QMK. Here you will see a lot of options. Just first choose the QMK MSYS file and click on the latest version. In the following window, just choose the first option and download this QMK sys exec if you use Windows as I use, and it starts to download this application. After that, go back to the Google and choose the QMK toolbox and click on it. When you click on it, then install for Windows, or if you use Mac, install for Mac, and it starts to download and install, and then you have to install it. The next application we need is the Visual Studio Code, as I've mentioned already. Just search it in Google and click on download. Now choose your desired version, which I use Windows 1, and click on it. It will download, then you will install it. Now open this PC, then open the drive C, then go to the users and choose your desired user file in Windows, Then we are going to find the QMK firmwares and open it. Go to the keyboards and open it. Now make a new folder with the desired name for your keyboard. For instance, here I'm going to use new keyboard as the name of my new keyboard that I'm going to make, or compile the file into it. Just double click on it and make another new folder in it and call it key maps. Open it and make another new folder in it and call it default. After making it, go to your downloads folder and copy the zip package file that I put in the description before and place it here. So I'm just gonna find it, it's here. I'm just gonna cut it as I don't need it in my downloads files. Then I'm gonna find my keyboard. Paste the file here. Now extract this file here. Now we have three files here, the keyboard JSON file and two other files. Copy the first one or cut or paste the first one and put it here in the root folder. Then we are going to cut these two other files or copy and paste them. Just open the key maps, then open default, and paste them here. Now we are going to open these files into Visual Studio Code. Actually, I first opened the wrong files, so as you can see in this video, then I had to open the correct files. The Visual Studio is here. You can just double click on it and open it. Instead of Visual Studio Code, you can use even the text editor from the Windows text editor or any kind of text editors. But the Visual Studio highlights all the comments and all the prompts for you, so it's really easier to follow up with that. The two files we need to open is a keyboard JSON file and another file that I already showed you named in keymap.c, that you have to open it from the, you just open the key maps, go to the default, and then open the key map file. As I already mentioned, I mistakenly opened these two files, so I'm going to change these two files to the correct ones. So this is a keyboard JSON file, and the other one, as I already mentioned, I'm gonna open it and it's the key map. In key map file, if you navigate to lower parts, you will find the KC underline some codes. Those are the codes for each key or each combination. That you can find them easily on QMK firmware official website. You can choose them to your desire, whatever you want. You can choose them, and then each key, actually each code is assigned to the corresponding key on your made keyboard. Now here in keyboard JSON file, you can see that they are the pin numbers for columns and the pin numbers for rows. You have to change the name of manufacturer to your name, whatever you want to call it, and then this name should be exactly the same as the folder's name that we have already made. In my case, that's the new folder, sorry, new keyboard. Now we are going to first open the QMK MSYS thing, the application or software as you call it. Here you can type, or you better to say, you have to type this line. Is I'm just gonna open my keyboard to be able to write on it. So it's you just have to write this line of command that I'm gonna put it in the descriptions. Just you have to change this part as it's highlighted to exactly the name of keyboard's folder, that it's the new keyboard for me in this case, and everything remains the same. Then you hit the enter and it starts to compile your file. After that, you have to open your QMK toolbox application. It's used to program your Arduino. Just click on open. Whenever you compile the file, in the root folder you will find the names of the files with .hex. Then choose your desired file, hit an open button, and click or check the auto flash option. And now you have to connect your keyboard to your through USB-C to your computer. Then hit the red button and you will hear a beep sound on your Windows, and it starts to flash it, and then you can use your keyboard.